Good afternoon, everyone. Happy to be here again with you guys. This ball game, it was a tough ball game, as we knew, going into the game that it would be tough. They are 0 for team, but they don't play like that. And if you look at their record, where their previous games, they were ahead going into the fourth quarter, as many as 21 points. Very similar to what we had that turned around. Going into the contest, we thought it was going to be very important that we got started fast and finished strong. That was the motto. So, and I thought we did that. Offensively, we came out, put points on the board, moved the ball. Defensively, I thought we played perhaps our best half of football for this season thus far. We were able to get pressure on the quarterback, and everything was going to plan. And then the second half, coming out, receiving the ball, thinking that was going to be big for us. And we had turnovers, 2 in particular, that made it for a very short field for North Alabama squad. And they capitalized on both turnovers. That's why we put so much emphasis on protecting the football. Because when you have those kind of mishaps, bad things normally happen. But I was very pleased and proud with the way we finished the game. The guys never quit, they never wavered. But you have to tip your hat to North Alabama. I thought they fought. They didn't give up, they didn't quit, and they continued to play at a very high level, and they capitalized on those turnovers and turned them into points. And they also changed the tempo. They went to a fast up-pace tempo offensively, so that kind of get us off balance, and it did. But again, it's how you finish, and I thought we finished strong. I thought the team showed a lot of character, that they would fight regardless of the situation and the moment, and they didn't bow down to the moment. So I was very pleased and very proud of them for that. Well, we're going to have to find some way of doing it. Some of it was technique, and some of it was, the official. He was calling a very tight game, and we have to recognize that. And when they're doing that, we have to be less hands-on and play with your feet more than your hands. And that's one thing that we did not do. We got our position, several times because of the lack of technique. That can be corrected.
In that moment?
Well, it definitely changed, the game itself. Whenever you have those sudden change, that changed the complexity of the game. So you kind of off script now. Now you have to do what's necessary and kind of leave your script. So that's what makes it difficult. Well, it's going to be a big ball game, period. They're a run team, and we like to stop the run. And they are very good. They are nationally ranked. They're a good opponent. But it's a challenge I think we are up to, and we're looking forward to it. Going down just competing. Well, I think it's been a bit early, to get into that. There's so many other things that we can and must and can get better at before we get into that part of it. But we understand how important games 6, 7, and 8 is. If you want to be a champion, you got to do well during that part of the season. And this happened to be game number 6. Well, I think it's very important that you have positive energy on the sideline. And then when you make a play, it needs to be recognized. So that part of it I'm okay with, as long as you keep it at a minimum and in perspective. I don't think we have faced any team to run true triple. This will be the very first, and it's going to be a big challenge for us. It's going to require us to be very disciplined. We cannot, our eyes must be disciplined. It's about reading your keys and reacting to what your keys say, and not follow the football in the backfield with the eyes. So discipline going to be huge. Well, honestly, it's fun for me. Honestly, I think we the number 1 rush defense, and they the number 1 run defense. So that in itself, set the tempo for the ball game. And so we're going to face the challenge head up, and we have to be very disciplined and tackle well. I think those are the two things that's going to determine our fate. Yeah, but we are going to have to do some things a little differently than normal. But for the most part, it's going to come down to run, block, and tackle. We must tackle well defensively. This is that old school wing T style offense, where they start, from what we call the nub and motion back and a lot of mixed direction stuff. That's why it's very important that we're disciplined with our eyes and do well reading our keys. I'll tell you one of the things that they did that hopefully we're able to accomplish is keeping the ball away from the offense. If you keep that triple on the sideline, they get very impatient. Oh man, it was a joy. It's a joy to watch that young man practice. I believe in this. You play like you practice, and he practiced at that high level, and that's why he's able to perform as well as he does.
What does that do for your running game now that you have him, Deshaun, Jermaine? You got 3 backs that can really put up their numbers.
Thank you. Well, actually, it does. It makes it very difficult for the opponents, I'm sure. They have 3 different, and they all have their own style. And then they all are they're all football players. I often say football players make football plays. We have 3 football players in the backfield, actually 4. And the depth chart ain't changed. Everybody just have different responsibilities. Jermaine's still our running back, and he must carry the load, and we'll throw out a little curve ball and out a little off-speed pitch at you when we feel deemed necessary. I tell you what, through the grace, honestly, it was a blessing. And when he and his parents came down for the campus visit, we were so concerned that we were not going to be able to, seal the deal. And fortunately, we did. It's humongous. It is so huge. When you turn around and see and also can hear that cheer for you, it does something to ignite you to be your very best. And so we're very proud of our support and our support groups and very grateful.